Well, it's a great day. It's a good day to be here. I'm hoping that you're happy to be here. You know, from the start, I appreciate the Scouts flying the flag. I was honored to do the bill a few years ago to honor our Missouri veterans that give their lives, and it was amazing the amount of people that fought the bill because they didn't, they didn't think that it'd be impractical to have the flag flown at half-mast, for the amount of times during the year. So when you see the flag flown at half-mast, most of the time now when you go around the state, remember somebody from Missouri gave their life for you. And I think that's huge. I used to, when school kids used to ask me, what's the best thing about being senator? What's the worst thing? It was always, the worst thing is dealing with rude people or something to that effect. Now it's after deploying 6 of our guard units over the last few years and having to look at the wives and children and tell them it's going to be okay. The first time you do that, most of them believe it. The second time, they know it's not. It's, it's dad calling home and you have to pretend everything's fine at home, and the kids, you got to tell the kids not to tell them how terrible time. But I'm happy to be here today on this exciting occasion. But I think it's even more appropriate that we honor our Missouri people to give the ultimate sacrifice, and I appreciate making mention of that. I was here that day. JC was here, flew down with the governor. If you remember the day of the breach, it was a cruddy day. That's why there wasn't any television shots of it, because you couldn't get helicopters up. And I happened to be in Jefferson City, and I flew down with the governor. We had a 2-hour delay, and my wife, she said, well, how come nobody else can fly and you guys can? And I said, well, I don't know, we'll be okay. And so we flew under the clouds, and I remember when you're flying low enough where the cows are looking up and you're seeing their eyes, it's an exciting experience, especially when there's a few hills popping up. So I remember we landed right there, and JC was here, and we talked to time. My wife Chris and I came back the next day and walked to the shut-ins, because this has been over the last few years such a debacle. I'm sorry, it's just been from the media and everything else. The next day they said that the shut-ins are destroyed. And that wasn't the case. The campsite was destroyed. I admit the shut-ins were very little affected. I mean, they had some debris, had to be cleaned. But I'm talking to the people that live here now. I have to apologize for the 4.5-year ordeal that you went through. Economically, with business here locally, it's been a terrible effect. I mean, the building process took too long. I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the campsite. I was very impressed with the campsite. But 4.5 years is too long, and I apologize for that. Part of that's my fault. And this is just inexcusable to take this long, because you are the forgotten ones. We've heard, we've opened the park, we've closed the park. We've opened the park, we've closed the park. Nobody, when they take vacations, wants to have some uncertainty. Is the park going to be closed? Is it open? I don't know. Maybe we should go someplace else. It's going to be our job to change those patterns back to where people, that when I was a kid, we came down here every summer. So that the people come back every summer. If you're media here, if you're St. Louis media, please get out the word that this is a wonderful place. You have a jewel, one of the nicest places in the country for natural beauty, an hour from St. Louis. Come down and visit. We need the economic incentive down here for people to be here. We have to have it for the businesses. Businesses have shut down. They've suffered. We're asking the people from the other areas, come see it. This isn't a terrible thing. It's not a charitable thing to come here. It's a wonderful thing to come to Johnson Shut-ins. Come back. We'd love to have you. All the businesses would love to have you. On behalf of the state, I'm sorry for the time out of your lives. The business is lost. A lot of you have lost jobs. I don't know if people here have, but I know there's been many in the area. So sorry, I'm truly sorry for that. As far as the turnout, though, it is just gorgeous. The campsite is gorgeous. The shut-ins still retain its beauty, and all the amenities here, it's great. So enjoy it, but let's do what we can to build this back as the leading park in the state, the most visited park in the state. We've lost that title, and we need to have that much day use so that we can have so many people down there. This is a very economically depressed area. Lumber prices are down. The other economic things in this area are down. We need the people back. So do whatever you can to go out and tell them how wonderful it is, how great the campground is, what a great day trip this is. Because with your help, we'll bring it back. I have to thank the governor for taking a personal interest in being down here, and he was down a couple weeks ago and checking it out before he came down here. And I told him that time if he wore a tie down here when he came back, that everybody out here would think he was a revenuer. So you notice he didn't have the tie on today. But we appreciate him coming down and taking a personal interest in the redevelopment of this park. It's a great asset. It's a jewel for the state of Missouri. And with your help, we will bring the people back here time and time again. Have a great day. Eat some Bailey Joe's barbecue, my favorite barbecue in the whole area. They'll be catering up at the Capitol for the inauguration next January, or the swearing in. If you're not from this area, make sure you have some barbecue. Enjoy the day, and welcome to God's country, Governor. Thank you.